Next, I'd like to acknowledge a key partner in this event, Gold House. Gold House is the leading cultural ecosystem that unites, champions, and invests in Asian Pacific creators and companies to power tomorrow for all. I welcome on stage the Executive Director and COO of Gold House, Jeremy Tran, for his keynote speech.
Good morning. Yes. I mean, let me just start by saying how beautiful this room looks. Good morning. Awesome. When Barbara and Brian reached out to Gold House many months ago to share this idea they had to create an experience in Vancouver, and I didn't tell you this, Barbara. When we got off the phone, I turned to my co-founder and partner, Bing Chen, and I said, I'm sold. I was immediately sold. And I may look like a nice guy, but I'm actually quite skeptical. I used to be a lawyer, so I'm trained to be hypercritical. And I was sold not because of just the really clever name and the promise of a jam-packed weekend, although I do have to say, drag dim sum brunch, brilliant. I was sold because the Racial Equity Screen Office, as well as East by Northwest, had a vision that resonated so deeply with ours at Gold House. We believe in building connections and bridges across communities, across continents, generations, and industries to change culture. Because that's the business we're in, and that's the business I assume most of you are in as well, to change culture. And we believe that innovation is sparked at those intersections. And by harnessing our collective power across these diverse backgrounds, we can create transformational change. That's what's needed, transformation. For so long, these traditional institutions have kept our voices separate, marginalized, fighting over scraps of opportunities. But like Barbara said, we want to be able to think outside of the scarcity mindset, think in abundance, because our collective power at the end of the day is unmatched. And that's just by the hard numbers. Our creativity, economically, spiritually, unmatched. And there's so much potential there that is left untapped. And unfortunately, right now, we're seeing more and more so companies and institutions starting to draw back from the progress they've made in recent years. Diversity chiefs are resigning, companies are afraid to talk about diversity, and many companies are taking what they consider to be the quote-unquote safe bets. But guess what? Squid Game was not a safe bet, right? Turning Red, Never Have I Ever. I had to shout out two Canadian led titles. Not safe bets, right? And as everyone here today will prove and demonstrate, we're here to create our own opportunities. We're here to create our own house together. So how do we do that? How do we create these coalitions and build those connections? At Gold House, we think about this in 3 dimensions. The first is to build connections and bridges between communities. We can't operate in our own echo chamber. We can't talk about these issues without having our allies learn from us, to learn from our allies as well. So it's important for us to not only uplift each other and invest in each other, but to really show up for each other. Because at that point is when we can create this transformational change at an exponential rate. I'll share one quick example with you. Last October, Gold House launched what we call the Multicultural Leadership Coalition, alongside a union of diverse-led funds like Harlem Capital and SoGal Ventures, founded by Vancouver's own Pocket Sun. And the idea was simple. How do we diversify boardrooms? We all know those are in dire need of diversity. And we honestly just wanted to create a space where we can share those opportunities with each other. Because we may come across an opportunity for a board executive director or an advisor that may not be the right fit for Gold House, but maybe someone at Harlem Capital would be the right person. So in just 10 months, because of this dialogue of sharing opportunities, we've placed over 30 diverse, incredibly talented board members. Thank you. And the second, I would say, we need to create bridges across industries, because culture doesn't operate in a silo. That's not how the way the world works. Hollywood impacts Silicon Valley, impacts Madison Avenue, Wall Street, Vancouver. It's a cultural ecosystem that's iterative. So when we are able to tap into each other's resources and platforms and play into each other's strengths, again, we can create that change at an exponential rate. I'll share one story. A couple years ago when A24 reached out to Goldhouse and talked about this little film called Everything Everywhere All at Once. I didn't really know what to think at first. It's hard to explain. But when we were able to watch it, I was blown away. And I knew that a film like this had the potential not only to break records in Hollywood, but to have far-reaching effects outside of Hollywood. So we had this early conversation with A24. How do we get the old boys club of Hollywood to understand and notice a story like this? And we knew we couldn't do this alone. So we reached out to all of our friends in other industries, those in VC, in finance, who are able to buy out theaters to ensure that the film can do well in the box office, the journalists and editor-in-chiefs of magazines who are willing to write articles about Everything Everywhere at Once, all at once, to put the talent on the covers of the magazines. The fashion designers like Prabal Gurung, who brought Michelle Yeoh to the Met Gala, the most watched event in culture. Those working in traditional industries, pulling whatever levers they could, giving us ad dollars, ad credits, billboards, media influencers talking about the film constantly, right? We were able to create a groundswell around this. And to be honest, A24 didn't even have a full awards team, and look what they did at the Oscars, right? Compared to these traditional studios that have giant awards team. And it's because we're able to bridge those industries, talk to each other, and again, share those opportunities to leverage our strengths to create the change we want to see. And finally, I would say we have to bridge continents, which is why I'm so proud to be here in Vancouver, really a true cultural hub. And that's pure mathematics, right? What's stronger than 30 million of us in North America is 5 billion of us worldwide. And the companies who continue to operate as is, ignoring really the majority of the world, is just doing bad business. So it's up to us to create those opportunities and to show them what they're missing out on. We are sitting on a gold mine. So I'll leave you with this. I just wanted to say, I hope today is a space where all of you get to know each other, learn from each other, have those conversations that may not always be easy, but are necessary for change. This room is full of really passionate and brilliant people who will be able to unlock opportunities that are not always given to us, but something that we can claim. So thank you so much for having me be a part of this. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.